Okay, so this is officially the best playing and sounding Washburn N4 I have ever owned, and I was really super lucky to get this guitar and find this guitar. It kind of found me. And before we get started, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video if you dig what I'm doing. And this is my 1993 Washburn N4 Paduak. And not only is it a 93 Paduak, which is the first year they started making these, but it's a very early 93, and it has the truss rod wheel on it, which makes it even more rare. And this thing is just dead mint, brand new. I think somebody was a Nuno fan and bought this guitar kind of just to have for show, or it might be one of those situations where they bought a guitar and wanted to learn how to play and never really learned to play, or it could have just been a collector that just wanted to let it sit. But I bought this guitar. It popped up on the line, grabbed it really quickly, and you know me with an N4. If it's got anything wrong with it, I can fix it. So just took a gamble. Great price on the guitar. And to kind of give you an idea, I paid $1,000 less than what a new one of these costs. And this is the rarest one you can go after. When it comes to rare N4s, you have, the 90 and 91 Davies. You've got the Koa tops. You've got the N8s, which are the double necks. And then you've got these that are crazy rare. So really stoked to get this. Like I said, it's dead mint. I'm pretty sure it had the original strings from the factory on it because it just had those certain windings to it. But yeah, not a scratch, not a ding, just brand new. So this guitar did have one quirk and one oddity. With any Washburn N4, it's got an upside down headstock, which means it has to have left-handed tuners on it, or what they call 6-in-line treble side tuners. This guitar left the Washburn USA custom shop with right-hand tuners on it. So I posted about that in a couple of the Washburn N4 Facebook groups, and a couple people chimed in and said, hey, I've got an early 93 as well that has right-hand tuners on it. So apparently they must have just had a shortage around that time and were sending them out that way and hoping nobody said anything. But I talked to one guy in particular. He has a white N4 with backwards tuners on it. And he said he just left his like that and he just learned to live with it. But I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to show you what I did here. What I did was I installed a set of hip shot locking tuners. Not only does it make changing strings a lot easier, and but as you can see, these tuners have a backing plate on them, so you do not have to do any more drilling, any more screwing. It locks it in place on the back of the headstock, and you don't have to go in there and re-drill holes, and then you've got new holes you drilled in it and the old holes showing. You can kind of still see the old holes there, but it does a really good job of hiding it. And I just didn't want to modify the guitar or drill into the guitar or anything like that. I didn't want to do any more of that than I had to. So I've heard a lot about these hip shot tuners. It was very easy to put them on, and to string your guitar with these is a breeze and makes it a lot easier. So as you can see, like I said, it's just brand new. It doesn't have any scratches or dings or anything. I did take the back plate off of it. I just prefer to keep a back plate off of them, especially on this particular model. This is, like I said, a 93, and when they started making these in 93, they went to that slimmer cavity back there. And, if you go to make any adjustments, you have to, take that plate off. So I just leave it off. I did put a set of red FU-tone springs on it. silent springs, noiseless springs. This thing did have some old springs on it that were making a bunch of noise, so I put some new ones on there. And the wood grain on this thing is just killer. Check that out. It already had these clip locks on it. No, I take that back. This guitar did not have clip locks on it. I had to put those on there. I got this one confused with another guitar I got recently. But yeah, man, Stevens extended cutaway as usual. And just a beautiful, beautiful piece of Paduak. So yeah, let's flip it back over. Of course, in '93, you had the Shaler bridges. And they're made out of kind of a really thick metal. They sound really great. They play really great. And a lot of people prefer these to a Floyd. It does have the Made in USA Stevens extended cutaway. You know, these old ones, you don't have to worry about them peeling off. These things are pretty much like decals, and then they, you know, clear over top of them. So that's not going anywhere. These newer ones have like a metal sticker on them, and if you catch them wrong with a rag or something, they'll just kind of wipe off or pull off. But everything is pretty much stock on it, except for those tuners, and just a killer. I mean, so let's go into the whole playability and the sound of this guitar. You know, when like you play a Koa guitar or a walnut guitar, they just have this certain weight and feel to them where they're just a totally different animal and a totally different breed. And that's what this thing feels like. On the downside, it is the heaviest N4 I've ever picked up in my life. It feels like this thing's like 15 pounds. But it sounds so good. It plays so good. It's got so much chug to it. And when you play some metal on it, man, the chug just has a thump to it that's incredible. Of course, it's got that L500XL in the bridge. Seymour Duncan 59 in the neck. Yeah, I didn't have to really do a whole lot to this one other than clean the frets on it, put some strings on it. One thing that I did have to replace on it, these little blocks on the trim. They are the same size as Floyd Rose, so I just ordered some Floyd Rose original blocks, because the little tiny blocks inside there that lock down on the strings have been on this guitar for so long that they were pretty much rusted shut. I was able to get them open and get a new set of strings on it, but I knew in the future they're going to be nothing but problems, and you literally have to force them back every time you change strings. So I didn't want to do that. So I just ordered all new blocks, all new inserts, put those in there. So it's got brand new parts on there. Still the original trims, so that doesn't hurt the value or anything on one of these. It just, you know, it's like putting the exact same part on. It's like if you're working on your car and, you know, it needs an alternator and you get a factory alternator and put that on there. It's not really that big of a difference. It's not going to affect the car's value that you put a factory part on it. But yeah, just a killer, awesome guitar. Like I said, it's very heavy. Awesome ebony fretboard. And this is when they were using the really nice ebony. Got those mother of pearl inlays. It does have these little black locks on it. I've got some chrome ones ordered for it. Not really crazy about the way that looks. Those might have been changed out at some point in time, or, you know, with the way these tuners were on the guitar, they might have come from the factory like that. So yeah, just a killer, beautiful guitar. And this is my #1 favorite right now. I've got another Washburn N4 vintage. It's a 2012 that was severely gigged for about 10 or 15 years. That's in the shop right now, getting the fret job and getting all rewired and get the original electronics, putting it out. That'll be the next video that I post for you guys. But yeah, just that guitar that's in the shop right now and this guitar are kind of the two main ones. And I also have a Nelly on the way. Looking really forward to that. I got a Nelly Deluxe that I got an amazing deal on. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. Sorry I got long-winded in this one, but I'm just really super excited about this guitar. And look forward to sharing some other guitars with you guys. Like I've said in a previous video, I don't flip these anymore unless it's one that would go to the #1 collector that I deal with. Everything I buy these days is stuff that I want to keep for myself. So I've got about 6 or 7 Nuno guitars right now. And once I get everything lined up here in the next couple of days, I'm going to make one video that just shows what I currently have and what I'm going to be using in the future, and working on some new music. And I hope to have some stuff out here pretty soon. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.